friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen slash viewing review. Actually was not planning on doing anything with this at all. I saw that it had come out and it interested me, but I wasn't the ever like the biggest Beatles fan in the world, but I always found their stuff interesting and I liked their music, but I didn't like ever dig deep into the catalog. I have a bunch of their albums and stuff. I was more into like bands like The Who and Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and stuff like that growing up, so the Beatles were just not really on my radar. And but I saw this was coming out and I found it interesting. I watched the whole documentary on Disney, the Get Back thing, and I found that like really, really interesting and really, really cool. And I've kind of been like digging into the Beatles a little bit more in recent years than I ever have. Guess it's never too late. And I saw this and I didn't really know much about it, and I watched a little mini documentary they did on it and saw a couple people talking about it. So saw the video was dropped today and that I heard the song and I was like, you know what, that was actually pretty cool. So in case anybody really doesn't know what I'm talking about, back in '94, Yoko Ono had found a tape of 3 different songs that John had sung, and he was playing piano or guitar. I can't remember on the other 2 what he was playing. I think it was piano on all of them. I actually can't remember. But there was Freeze a Bird and Real Love, which was done, and that was on the Beatles compilation. I actually bought one of those. Never got the second one though, the one that had Real Love on it. And I thought that was interesting. It was good, and but it sounded like they've recorded something new around Paul's voice, but it was still cool to have. Well, with this one, they were actually able, with the invention of AI, and some people out there may be all against AI, and I can see why. I mean, there's human beings for some reason have this tendency to take this amazing technology and do like the worst crap with it. So, Snapchat, people sending pictures of stuff that they shouldn't, instead of just talking with each other, whatever, stuff like that. Facebook, a great way to keep in touch with friends, but no, we fight with each other on it. So, tends to be, what we do. But anyway, so like AI, I thought, okay, this is kind of cool, stuff, but I can see why people don't like it. But what they did with this AI is they were able to separate the vocal from the piano that he had done on the demo and just be able to mix the vocal correctly. And they took a bunch of guitar parts that because they had tried to do this back in '95, and George Harrison had laid down a bunch of guitar, and he went and I should say Paul redid some of his bass on this. They took George's guitar. I don't know if they redid the drums with Ringo or they kept the ones he had done back then. I actually don't know that, but they fixed a few things. Paul did a slide guitar solo on it that he said is in the style of what something George would do, and they wrote a string part for it, had the orchestra play it, not telling them it was a Beatles song. And the person who orchestrated it was I can't think of his name now, but the producer's son, and I can't believe it's George Martin, his son had rearranged and done. At least I think it was his son. I'm going to have to double check on that. I just watched the thing and now I can't remember. So anyway, nonetheless, they put it all together and were able to mix it properly, and that's how they came to do this. Now, I've got like mixed feelings on this, because I know if it was one of my favorite bands doing this, I would actually love to hear anything that they did. But it does sound like, old stuff being mixed with the new, because there's new production, there's new, like the drums sound like huge, the guitars and everything sound modern, and the vocals, even though it's separated, it still sounds old sounding. I wish they'd done something maybe with the technology of the olden days, like maybe recorded direct to tape, used the microphones from back in those days or something to keep it sounding like more uniform. They didn't do that, so it's kind of why I'm mixed on it. I maybe would have enjoyed that better, but it still sounds great, obviously, and it's a Beatles song, so I mean, everybody wins. So anyway, I just thought it was the kind of cool thing they did. Just my short little thought on it. And if anybody out there hadn't heard about it, which I can't find hard to believe, but you should check it out. It's kind of worth listening to. So I thought it was pretty interesting. It's the type of thing, and I say this a lot, it makes me want to go back and listen to other stuff. So even if it's something you don't enjoy, maybe it'll make you want to go back and listen to something else that you do enjoy. And I say it all the time, this is about keeping the music alive, and boy, is that one heck of a way of keeping the music alive. So I mean, they got to get an A+ for that, I guess. So anyway, feel free to leave your thoughts and stuff below as always. Like, share, subscribe, and talk to you in the next one. See ya.